All right.
Who had sex with Lucy?
Ryan did.
Okay.
So you and I, the last thing that happened is you and I freaked out because Slenderman was in front of us. I was in frenzy doing various warding things, and you slammed on the gas and tried to run him over with the car.
That sounds like something I would do.
Yeah.
Have I backed up over him yet?
Well, that's where everyone passed out. Was as you started walking
out.
forward. So we're just coming to. So I will. All right, let's get started. So you guys slammed on the gas, rocketed forward towards this dark figure in front of you, and then as soon as you impacted with it, everyone just passes out. So both of you come to. You are in the car still, but you basically, you're just kind of hanging there loosely, unconscious, sort of starting to come back to your senses. The first thing you notice is that you can hear the sounds of the ocean, or some sort
possibly one of the great seas. The
yeah, could be a
lake,
but you're definitely on a beach.
The Great Lakes. That's what I meant to say, not the Great Seas.
The Great Seas.
And I'm British. I don't know the geography of America. You want to change your slide?
Yes.
It's some place that has sand and ocean, or sand and water.
So I would assume it would be a Great Lake since we're closer to that.
Yeah, probably.
Than an ocean.
Although if you guys want to give me wits plus alertness rolls.
That would be 4.
4.
Okay. So you guys do kind of pick up that it does seem there's kind of that sort of salty tang in the air that you wouldn't really get with a freshwater lake.
I thought they were saltwater lakes.
Are they? In that case, they might be. But the main thing that you notice, which really kind of basically proves it, is you're that you're not where you should be. Is you're looking out over the water, and you can see that the horizon there is the sun rising directly in front of you. That's the main thing you noticed. So if you are on the Great Lakes, you're definitely you're way up north because you're facing directly east.
Great Lakes are freshwater.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah.
Go Google Foo.
Anyway, those sort of thoughts are not necessarily what immediately comes to mind as you see the sun rising.
No, I'm panicked at this point.
Do we still have the car with us?
Yes, you are still in the car.
I popped the trunk.
And I climb inside. We might have to remove a few things, but I climb inside.
All right.
And from here I pull out my cell phone. Is it still there?
Your cell phone is still there, but when you try and activate it, it has been completely blown out.
Blown out? I've never heard that phrase before.
It's like it just doesn't work.
It's dead.
I'm not sure exactly why, but like tapping on the screen gives you no response.
Is it one of the stupid new phones where you can't access the battery?
You can actually access the battery, and when you look at it, it looks as though the battery has burst.
Okay, then.
Well, no choice in that then.
Is there a roadway back to a main drive, or are we just on the beach?
You're actually in a pretty urban area at this point. You're on kind of like a parking lot for beach access, but there's like a whole city around you.
Do I recognize any of the major sights or sounds here?
Sure. Give me a just straight intelligence.
Dose.
This is the time to apply one of those weird secondary skills like geography.
Streetwise might work if it has very distinguishable buildings, such as the Bellagio or the Mirage.
Yep. All right. Yep. What's your intelligence plus streetwise?
4.
All right. Well, as you're looking around, there are a bunch of casinos here. It's obviously not Las Vegas, which does kind of narrow it
Possibly
down.
Atlantic
You're probably
City.
in Atlantic City.
All right.
And all the streets seem to be named after Monopoly spaces.
Follow-up question. Do we have any allies in Atlantic City?
No. You might possibly find a Tremere Chantry, but they don't know who the hell I am, so.
And I want to do a perception investigation to see if there's any other clues that they may have left behind.
All right. What is your perception plus investigation?
5.
Okay. So, you look around sort of the general area. You don't really find too much of interest, although the one kind of interesting thing that you do notice doesn't necessarily help you that much, but you do see there's kind of sand in the parking lot, obviously because sand gets everywhere. But you haven't made any tire tracks in the sand leading up to your space. It seems like the car just appeared there.
Or it was a very windy night.
Yeah, could be.
But the tires aren't buried in the sand, are they?
No.
And we were outside and it wasn't windy.
Yeah.
So.
And people don't usually be like Agent Scully when you're already like a ghoul for a vampire.
It's not a lack of belief.
Yeah.
But teleporting a whole car.
Right, we already lost 2 days, so possibly we lost more time there as well. So
yeah.
Good thinking, Terry. Good thinking.
From inside the trunk.
He will.
At this point.
He will take the car back out onto the street and try to find a nice hotel.
All right. So the first thing you do, you get in the car, turn the key, and it is completely dead. It doesn't even like start to chug. It's as though
the battery's just completely
it's as though the battery were just completely dead.
All right, pop that hood there, Terry. You can
don't pop the trunk.
No, don't pop the trunk. God no. Get the right lever, because that could be bad.
Not popping the trunk. At this point, there's not much more to do than wait. He will look through the car and see if there's anything left behind, such as maybe a nightstick or his handguns, because I imagine he has 1 or 2 of those around the car.
We got lots of crap in the car.
Yeah, I don't.
I
did actually send you a thing, although because we didn't have a server together, I don't think it's sent. So I'll resend it, which had your equipment on it. Let's see.
Even if nothing is not prepared.
The direct messages.
Yeah, I'm not looking at a.
Yeah, I think it didn't send it. Give me a second. All right. There we go. Nope, and it just completely got rid of it. All right, I'm going to go inside for a second so I can copy paste it because I have like a whole paragraph there and I'm not going to rewrite it.
So we've got crowbars, hammers, fire extinguisher, a repair kit for the car. We've got a medical kit. We've got rubber. We've got various acids, gasoline, stakes, rope, flashlight. That's just sort of what we carry in the trunk.
And you're all bundled up with it right now.
Well, some of it may have had to be moved into the back seat, is what I'm saying. In order for me to curl up in my fetal position in the hot stuffy trunk.
Well, what type of car is it?
I believe we've got the luxury sedan back, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so
Oh, there's plenty of space for all that equipment in a
It's
human
not-
body.
it's not armored yet. So, but we do have the luxury sedan that we had to swap out for the crap car for a while. But we got that back. But it's not. It's not. It doesn't have the solid tires and the armor on it yet.
Yeah, Discord lost the paragraph. Basically, what you've got is a can of mace, a taser, some sap gloves, and a Colt Anaconda, and a medium bulletproof vest.
All right. And at this point, there's not much to do other than wait, because he's not leaving his post.
Yep. All right. So, also, since you guys have the time to check yourselves out, you actually notice something. You start to feel, once you have a chance to calm down, the adrenaline stops. You notice that you feel like weird burns underneath, like, your shirt.
Well, I'm in full force.
Yeah, I'm speaking specifically to Terry.
I'll notice this when I wake up.
You're going to notice this, yes, you are going to notice this when you wake up. Do you have either medicine or science?
Double negative.
All right. So you've never really seen anything like this before. It looks like some sort of weird burn on you. You actually are suffering under 1 point of aggravated damage. That does go for both of you.
There.
I'm here. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's some kind of weird burn. There's no telling what it is. It doesn't look like, it doesn't look like a regular burn, like you stuck your hand in a fire or something like that.
Napalm burn.
Yeah.
Because he was in Vietnam.
Yeah.
He'd know what those look like.
But it's possible the professor might know more. But he's unconscious right now.
Well, we'll worry about that once he wakes up.
All right. So the day passes pretty much without incident. Are you going to try and stay awake for the whole day, or are you going to try and take a nap in the car?
Apparently, I got a good night's rest as I was teleported across the country.
All right. So yeah, the day passes pretty much without incident, and not too long after sunrise or sunset, you're able to get up.
All right. Knocking on the trunk there.
He'll actually pop the trunk just as soon as he sees the sun go all the way down.
Okay. All right.
And this is when you notice your burns
This is
as
where
well.
I will notice that I am quite uncomfortable. So what was that roll? Intelligence plus science?
Yes.
That would be 8. 2 specialties. Biochemistry.
Yeah. Okay. You do recognize the burns. They're actually radiation burns.
We've had radiation burns.
Yeah.
Do I know of anything, any sort of space-time teleportation that would cause radiation burns?
Well, obviously, you did your doctoral thesis in biochemistry, not in teleportation.
Not in physics, not in space-time teleportation.
So you don't know exactly what it would be. Both you and Terry seem to have the same kind of burns, which is a little bit odd.
Where exactly are they on my body?
They're just kind of... They seem to be just kind of localized in, like, sort of a torso area.
So they're not on my extremities?
They would be sort of on... I guess they probably would be on your extremities where your clothing doesn't protect you, would probably be where they show up.
All right, well, obviously I'm going to assume that the burns are because of the teleportation.
Yeah.
So, Terry, have you been able to figure anything out?
Whatever happened, popped all of our batteries.
Okay. I'll check
including the car's battery.
Absolutely the same.
Okay. All right. So, we know a few things about this space-time teleportation. Causes burns and destroys batteries. lithium-ion as well as lead acid.
I might suggest that we start making our way over to a rent-a-car place.
Okay. And do you know exactly where we are?
Based off of the casinos at the beach, I would venture a guess Atlantic City.
All right. So, let's secure the vehicle.
It's not going anywhere.
Well, it's the stuff in the vehicle
Yeah,
that
I
I was
understand.
concerned about. And we will head to a car rental.
And he will manually lock each and every door.
All right. So, as you guys are walking to the nearest car rental place, you notice, well, first off, let's do a perception plus alertness. That was 4 for both of you.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, both of you notice that there seem to be a couple of guys who are following you. They're dressed in suits, and they have like earpieces in. They look kind of like casino security to you,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not in a casino, obviously.
Right. They're walking around. Are they Men in Black kind of things?
Could be, yeah,
Black suit, black tie, black sunglasses.
pretty much.
In the dark?
They're not wearing the sunglasses.
Well,
I am not a big fan of void engineers, sir.
you know, that was another game. Well, so, okay, so let's make sure that they're following us and we'll do a few turns.
Okay. Yeah, every time you turn off, they absolutely get right behind you.
Okay. So I guess it's time to confront.
Time to pull out our guns.
Yeah. Unholster the weapon.
We're going to trail them into a place where we're not going to be seen by police easily.
Okay. I will follow Terry's lead on this.
Because if we just do this in the middle of the street, we're going to have the same thing that happened in my game last night.
Cool Imp already had a police chase in his game.
Very
so.
good, Terry. That's why you are the bodyguard.
Just
but
into the police car.
He'll wait for them to come around the corner as soon as he finds a nice place for all this.
All right. So, as you guys head into sort of a deserted area, and once you're kind of off the main track of, like, the casinos, it's pretty easy to find a place where the cops aren't going to go. You're basically waiting for them. They don't follow in directly after you, but after a little bit, they say, we represent the prince. Just come out.
Very well.
All right.
And his name is?
A second to look it up. It says Alfonso Bruti.
He'll look at Steven. Is that right? Do you know?
It's fine, Terry. Thank you for my concern. I have no idea who the Prince of Atlantic City is.
Actually, why don't you... You don't have Camarilla status. Why don't you just give me, like, a straight intelligence check?
Okay, 4.
It does sound right. You don't know exactly what the name is, but you do know that Atlantic City is supposed to be run by an Italian kindred.
So I'll, give a little, sounds about right. Like I know something.
Supposedly he's, that he's supposed to be the child of a powerful elder, Venture Elder Spartacus.
He did live through! I knew it. It's my child. Yes.
That's a reference to a Roman chronicle that we ran.
Okay.
It's a descendant of Mary's Venture character in that.
When I play the Venture, who is the greatest of all the
greatest
clans.
of the
But
13 vampire clans.
In this story, the Tremere are the greatest of all the vampire clans.
Yep.
All right. So, okay. Well, we will come out.
All right. So they No, and they basically have you follow them to a vehicle.
Okay.
And once you're inside, they take you to Circus Maximus, which is a Roman-themed and not copyrighted casino in Atlantic City.
Uh-huh.
It bears a lot of resemblance to another sort of Roman-style casino that you might find in Atlantic City, but it's not copyrighted.
But the non-copyrighted version is Circus Maximus. Gotcha.
So
I buy that completely.
So you go in, and these guys, they get waved through immediately into like the back rooms, and you're taken up to a penthouse way up at the top of the city, looking over the skyline. So when you enter, there are already a number of people there. It looks like there's some sort of Primogen meeting already in progress.
Oh, joy.
So the prince, who looks, he basically has those classic sort of Italian features, dark, nice suit, looking out to you guys, and there's another guy who's standing kind of like right next to him. He's sitting at the head of this table that everyone else is sitting at as well. And there's another guy kind of standing right behind him who's kind of like whispering in his ear. And when you guys come in, he kind of points at you guys and then nods. And then whispers something else that you guys can't hear.
This is going to go well. I can tell right now. This is going to go well.
Is it noisy when we walk in?
No, it's pretty quiet.
Turning on Auspex.
All right.
For high instances for hearing.
Okay.
And trying to see if I can pick up what that guy said as he pointed to us.
Yeah. You just pick up the end of it. He says, like, yes, this looks like the one.
All right.
So, the prince leans back in his chair, treating it like a throne. Kind of looks over at the two of you. The guy who was standing there, he takes a seat right next to the prince. Everyone else is seated. You guys are left standing at the end of the table. Says,
After you, boss.
Well, we'll just wait for the prince.
He says, and perhaps you would like to present yourselves.
Dr. Stephen Higgins of Clan Tremere. And this is my ghoul, Terry.
Looks at the two of you and then says, how exactly is it that you've come into my city?
Oddly enough, I don't know.
I see. There's another quick whisper conversation between the two of them. And basically with Auspex, you can just kind of overhear a little bit, but they seem to be kind of conferring, and the guy he's whispering to is kind of saying, yeah, that seems about right. So the prince then looks back at the two of you, and he says, and I suppose that is the excuse you will give when I ask why you did not come to present yourselves immediately, as demanded by the traditions set forth by Cain.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I held back from laughing at that one.
Yeah, I usually assume that most laughter is out of character.
We were surprised by being essentially teleported here. Our vehicle was disabled. We were in the process of obtaining another vehicle in an attempt to figure out where you were, never having been to Atlantic City before, when we ran into your servants. Let's say servants.
All right. He once again checks with the guy to his side, and you can overhear that the guy is confirming that it's mostly true. And so the prince nods and says, I give you permission to remain within my city as long as you require to arrange alternate transportation, and as long as your own clan requires.
That doesn't sound good.
I leave you in the care of your primogen. And he basically nods and says, while the meeting concludes, you two may wait outside.
I will gesture to Terry that we should probably leave.
So
Right on his heels.
All right. So the goons basically escort you out to sort of a waiting room. There's like some basic entertainment stuff there. There's some magazines, television, etc. But it is a waiting room.
He's going to look around and see if there's any bugs in this room.
All right.
Stephen will simply sit and look through a copy of Men's Health.
How to treat radiation burns.
Yes, something.
All right. Give me a perception plus security.
5.
Terry has never been this active and eager before. It's weird.
This is the kind of shit he's doing. He just doesn't usually inform you.
I know. It's just weird.
When it's me playing him, he just does it.
He just tells me what he's found afterwards, but you're just like, no, I'm going to do this now. No.
Well, when the DM's not the one deciding these things.
It's kind of fun.
All right. Yeah, this room is absolutely bugged.
And he'll say, we should wait to speak in privacy.
Yes, Terry, very good. Go back.
I love the idea that Steven doesn't know half of what Terry does. It's like those cartoons where there's like, what was it, like Animaniacs, where there's like the dog chasing after the baby that's just helplessly moving along. The baby's just oblivious and fine.
It's like Charlie and his girlfriend, right? When he was doing all those things for her, and when he stopped, it was like her life fell apart. Yeah. Because he'd sneak into her bathroom and fill her shampoo up.
All right.
Oh, you're talking about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Okay.
Yeah.
We throw out.
Well, that's because he wasn't doing all those things.
I know, and that's kind of what Terry is. You do all of this stuff that Steven has no idea.
Yeah, we throw out a lot of Always Sunny references. Like a lot of Always Sunny references.
It's actually one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, it's
It's
damn good.
Excellent show.
It's also suitably ironic for vampires to watch. All right.
I have no idea what. I don't think Steven watches TV.
Well, PBS,
Oh well, of course, BBC.
All right. Yeah, so after a little while, the meeting breaks up. You see the rest of what you presume to be the city's primogen file out. And eventually the guy who was whispering back and forth with the prince comes over to you and says, follow me.
Close my copy of the magazine. Side, get up, and follow.
All right. So he basically takes you down. He doesn't say anything while he's in the casino, but he takes you down into his car. And you can give me a quick perception.
Is this one of the goons or is this the premier?
This is the guy who was whispering back and forth with the prince.
So I have no idea.
You have no idea who he
But he
is.
wasn't one of the goons.
No. And if you want to give me a perception plus occult.
That would be 6.
You can see that this guy has like hermetic sigils on him, and when you get into the car, it looks like there are some more sigils around.
Okay.
Very subtle, but
Mm-hmm.
when you know what to look for.
Okay.
So as soon as you're in the car, he says, "What is your rank in Circle of Mysteries?"
Oh, Lord, I forgot. I'm 5th, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I'm 5th circle. The one below the region. What is it? I can't remember.
You are a novice of the fifth circle of mysteries.
I'm a novice of the 5th circle. I'm writing it down right now. Novice of the 5th circle of mysteries. I gotta write it on my sheet. That's why I don't remember. Novice of the 5th circle of mysteries. So, in character, I am a novice of the 5th circle of mysteries.
All right. So, he nods and says, exactly what ritual were you conducting that caused the accident?
There was no ritual. What happened was, we had, well, let me begin at the beginning. My coterie and I were in our haven and noticed that there was something dangerous outside. We went down into a secure portion of the haven in order to spend the day because unfortunately it was very close to sunrise. When doing that, one member of the coterie was teleported across the state. We live in Gary, Indiana, just so you know. So a couple of days later, we woke up, got a call from...
To be clear, these other coterie members, they are Tremere?
No.
Okay, so we don't need to be concerned with them.
Well, you might wish to know what happened.
Yes.
So, the one who was teleported was able to call me, tell us where he was located, and we went down in order to retrieve him. On the way there, met some allies. We went into the forest. He was in a forest, fighting a rather odd monster. Apparently, I'm not sure. Very tall, very thin, dark humanoid figure. Absconded with our coterie member again. We realized at that point that there had been a time dilation of 2 days. We decided to leave the state forest in order to try and figure out what was going on. When we were back in the car, the very dark, tall, thin humanoid figure attacked us. And we wound up here with these odd burns upon us.
I understand.
Can you tell me the date?
He'll give you the date, and it is basically the same night that you were teleported.
Okay.
Well, it's the night after.
It's the night after, so okay.
Yeah.
So there has not been another time dilation.
So, he nods and says, very interesting. I will introduce myself properly now. I am Wilhelm Gotz, Regent of the Second Circle of Mysteries. And unfortunately, the two of you and your misadventure have interrupted a very delicate ritual. That's how the prince knew exactly where to find you.
Ah. I wondered how he found us so quickly.
That was the Chantry's work. And at this point, you've basically been telling the story as he's been driving, and at this point he pulls up outside of a, looks to be like a strip club. It's named the Wizard's Wand, and it is sort of a magic theme.
I like this premiere.
You broke up there for a moment. It's called The Wizard.
The Wizard's Wand. And it is a strip club. There on the front there's like a neon sign. It's a very like kind of realistic looking woman with like a short like cartoon wizard like ogling her as she's pole dancing.
Okay.
And says, please come in. Takes you inside. The bouncers like are moving to basically search you for weapons, but the regent basically waves them off. You guys come inside. Yes. Are you in need of sustenance?
I probably have to take off a blood point for...
Yes, for the day.
6. I could probably use a little. He's got some handy.
All right. So he looks around, picks out one of the girls, and then
Men.
it is society has not yet become so accepting that we have like men and women in the same strip clubs. So he has her take you into one of the basically private lap dancing areas, and you can feed off of her.
Alright.
You can gain 2 blood points.
I'll do that as quickly as possible.
All right.
Without touching her in any way.
No touching.
Don't tell her. No touching.
All right.
I say to her.
So,
No touching.
when you're finished, the regent is waiting right outside, and he takes you then back into a back room and then down some stairs into the basement,
Alright.
where it appears more like a traditional chantry. There's like lab spaces,
Sure.
rooms for everyone to stay in. He says, will you be sharing the same accommodations?
Yes.
Alright. So, he takes you to one of the rooms, says this is a guest room. There is basically a big kind of, not big, but, you know, a large sort of twin-sized bed, and then you can see there's like an air mattress pushed over to the side. This is where you can stay until you're finished in the city, with your own business and with the chantry business, which we should probably discuss.
This might be a good time.
You should know that the prince of the city takes the tradition of domain very seriously, as he is, of course, within his right to do. As not only the regent, but also the primogen for the Tremere clan in this city, I took it upon myself to intercede on your behalf.
Thank you.
And, fortunately enough, you have the chance to repay this boon immediately.
I would be happy to.
As I said, your appearance let off a cacophony of magical energy, which interrupted a very delicate ritual we were performing. In fact, the ritual, by necessity, took place very near sunrise. A number of my novices were injured attempting to seek shelter when the ritual failed.
Did they have strong burns on their chest?
They had burns in many places as they attempted to flee the sunlight.
He will show him his chest.
So the regent kind of looks over you. You've seen this?
Yes, I have them too.
All right, he looks over at you as well. Says, I will study this in greater detail. But for the time being, it does not have anything to do with anything I have seen on my novices. Yeah. So, he says, I will study this in further depth, and he does ask for each of you to give him a sample. Yep. So he'll take them, put them in files, and secret them away. As I was saying, a number of my novices have been injured. This ritual is very specific. It can only be performed during the 3 nights of the fullest moon. So we do still have some time to try again. However, the reagents used have been used. In payment for your boon, you will acquire the reagents again, and you will replace my novices who are too injured in the ritual.
So, what reagents do you need?
So, he takes out a list.
Little shopping list.
Says the items are as follows. Several cloves of garlic. A bottle of medicinal alcohol. A large amount of clay.
Have some of that with me.
pus from an infected wound.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to infect some of your wounds.
The fresh liver of a large mammal.
A large. Doesn't matter what kind of mammal. Just a mammal. A
Um,
large mammal.
human would be the most ideal, but any kind of mammal should suffice.
So how large are we talking? Does it have to be human
Like
size?
horse, cow,
Okay.
something at least human-sized.
Or like,
1 gallon
Could it be
of...
larger?
What was that?
yeah, human
Could it
size
be
or
larger?
Yeah. 1 gallon of pure deionized water. And the menstrual blood of a virgin.
That's gonna be fun. Probably all of these I've got kind of. I'm not sure about the menstrual blood virgin. Really not sure how to go about that one.
So how fresh does the menstrual blood have to be?
It has to be at least, basically, when you acquire it, you need to put it in a hermetically sealed container, and it needs to be fresh at the moment of acquisition.
And I'm trying to find the correct phrasing for this. Could we bring you just the virgin itself for maximum freshness?
Alright. He nods and says, yeah, I think that would work.
Okay, how are we going to tell if she's a virgin?
Good luck in Atlantic City, he says.
Good Lord. That's
What
hard.
night of the week is it?
It is the start of the weekend. It is Friday night.
All right. All we have to do. What time of year is it?
It is the end of winter. It's like the beginning of spring at this point.
Ah, damn it. Do you have a computer I can use?
Shrugs, yeah.
He will look up high school basketball games.
All right. That's pretty easy to
Hey,
do.
I do not have to worry about a humanity score.
Okay.
We've got Dominate.
We do. We have dominate. I assumed that I figured I would dominate the girl, get her here, but it was like, how do I tell if she's a virgin? That's the question.
Yeah. Yep. No, you've got the schedule.
Are there any games playing currently or in the next hour or so?
Not in the next hour or so, but it is.
I'm assuming we're later into the evening.
Yeah.
Let's see how
But you
this
might be
is.
able to find one like earlier on Saturday, although they're gonna be during the day, so it's gonna be breaking up by the time the sun sets.
That's fine. I have Dominate. You'll be amazed at what you can get out of a single word phrasing.
Menstruate.
Although I can't
This is why we shouldn't
get
have
them.
men doing women's health issues. It's just one guy in body armor yelling at a woman to menstruate.
He will gather a couple things, and I'm sure they're around here. He's going to find a clipboard,
Yeah.
a piece of string that's about 2 feet long,
Yeah.
and a pen.
All right.
Okay, I am like so frightened that Carrie has just taken over the whole virgin menstrual blood thing.
The regent is immediately like, "Well, we have a junk drawer, and there's a bunch of odds and ends inside, and yeah, you find all that stuff."
Okay.
And then he's going to print out a survey form.
All right.
And it says U.S. Times, or Time Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Are you happy being a virgin in high school? Yes, no, does not apply.
All right.
And it's given a random number for each one.
Okay.
And it's looking for race, sex, and approximate age.
Okay.
And he prints out about 10 pages of that. He puts it on the clipboard with the pen tied up. That way it looks like it belongs to the clipboard. And he's like, I'll take care of the virgin in the morning.
All right.
Is there any money still in his wallet?
Yes.
Okay. How much does he have?
You've got around like $50.
Well, and I'm assuming we have credit cards.
Yeah, you've got credit cards.
We have resources.
Okay.
You could go to an
So-
ATM if you need.
He'll look at the regent and to Steven. Tomorrow I'll go to one of these high schools who has a basketball game going on, and I will simply act like I'm filling out a survey for Time Magazine.
Give me a intelligence plus computers just to see how professionally this survey looks.
2.
Can I if I look at that survey, I may do it.
I
Anyway.
guess maybe if you want to do
So,
this.
but I want you to roll first.
Okay,
I want to see.
we'll see.
I want to. He'll hold up this survey to me. He'll be like, "I'll give him this survey."
Well, as a professor, you've probably seen quite a few surveys. It doesn't look like a real survey, but it looks like what someone who doesn't do a lot of surveys thinks is a real survey.
Okay.
It doesn't look bad.
Okay. So it's
Once
not
it-
laughably bad.
No.
It's like, oh, Terry, that's sweet.
To put it into terms, put it into game terms, it seems like about 1 success. It technically works.
But let me see if I can tweak that survey for you just a smidge. And then I'm going to go.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, boss. Absolutely.
A new survey.
All right, what's your intelligence plus computers?
That's it.
All right. Okay. Normally I don't say successes, but you did just go from 1 success to 6 successes.
Now we've got ourselves a professional-looking survey.
It does look damn good, actually.
All right. So we'll print a few copies of those. We'll-
Yeah.
Okay, so we're good. All right. Well, I'm glad
Oh!
that sounds good that you've taken over that. All right.
But yes, that is the general plan to get a virgin, and he will visit a Michael's tomorrow morning as well.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
Because I think everything else on the list can be obtained at a Michael's.
Well, except for pus from an infected wound.
They don't have... Yeah, that's true. They don't have a lot of that.
They don't have a lot of that.
And meanwhile, you thought the virgin would be the hard thing.
And, well, I figured we'd just go to a hospital and I'd dominate my way into an infected wound area. And the liver from the large mammal. We may need to go out and sacrifice a cat.
That also does not usually appear in a Michael's.
Thinking everything else we can get there.
Most everything else is
go
pretty...
to the store and get some garlic cloves and yeah, we can do that. So I think we need to kind of focus on...
They have deionized water?
Probably in a craft store, yeah.
Yeah, alright.
I was going to say, I'm surprised, honestly, I'm surprised that the Chantry here does not have a deionizing and a reverse osmosis.
Y'all are breaking up on me.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so I am a little surprised that the Chantry does not have a reverse osmosis way to deionize their water.
It's also possible that he's just giving you all the reagents to basically just have assert superiority,
I see.
like Tremere did.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. Even I. Anyway, so yes, but we can we can probably come up with deionized water.
Okay.
Alrighty, so can you tell me where the nearest hospital is?
Yeah, he'll give you directions.
So let's go there.
Alright.
Is there a vehicle that I can acquire?
Yeah, he nods, and he basically leaves for a second, goes into his office, and he comes back with a set of car keys, which he basically tosses over to you.
And may I have a container in which to put the liver?
He gives you plenty of hermetically sealed containers.
We have some, because I don't want to be carrying around with us. All right. All right. Well, now that we're ready to go, I guess we're off to the hospital. How much time do we have before sunrise?
At this point, you've got still a few hours. Yeah.
Okay, it's not going to be visiting hours, but I can get in. All right. So.
Yeah, you head out, and the car, it's not like a newer one either. It's like a shabby old electric car.
All right. Okay, Terry can handle it.
On the way there, he will actually stop off at a Walmart.
Yeah.
And pick up a couple of burner phones.
Okay.
Good idea.
That way we have something to communicate with in general.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Okay. Oh yeah, and suffice to say, you guys did both have burner phones, but they were also.
Well, right.
Yeah.
We should give the rest of the coterie a call and let them know what's going on.
Yes.
But he'll continue just driving on his way there as if this was an everyday event.
All right.
Okay. So I will attempt to call Ryan.
Okay. Yeah, it tells you that the number is like out of service.
Okay. That's what I kind of figured.
Yeah, it's not a huge leap to think that the same things that happened to you happened to them.
Right. So I'm gonna assume that we just need to get back to Gary, try and hopefully the coterie can get there as well.
All right.
Figure out our problem here with the Tremere.
You guys
Hopefully Ryan's not having sex with somebody in my bed right now.
You guys all need to friend each other on Facebook so you have other ways to get in contact with each other.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. Okay. So, we go to the hospital.
Okay.
To the hospital first.
Yeah. So, you're greeted at the door by the nurse who asks, the visiting hours are over.
Yes, but I am Dr. Stephen Higgins, and I have a patient that I need to see.
Okay. Are you dominating her or just trying to schmooze your way past?
Well, I'll try and schmooze here for a little bit.
Okay. Manipulation plus subterfuge.
4?
Okay.
Well, he's not lying to her.
Yeah. I mean, he is a doctor, but I guess that's technically true.
No, I didn't put any lies in that.
I'm still gonna call for subterfuge. It is deceitful.
I'm just not telling her the whole truth.
All right. Well, she asks, in that case, which patient is it that you want to see?
Well, I need where were the infected words?
I don't think you're a real doctor.
No, but like in a hospital, what ward are they in?
I mean,
You're here to do a reverse vacuum seal on a patient's arm.
A reverse vacuum seal on a patient's
Yeah,
arm.
there's actually vacuum therapy for wound care.
Okay, so we're gonna go with that, but I'm gonna be like, I can't remember.
I work at an insurance company. It's the only reason I know about it.
Okay.
And I'm probably saying the wrong technical name, but it does exist as a thing.
Okay.
All right.
So I'll go with that.
Okay.
In my very British accent, looking very doctorish.
Okay.
And be like, but I can't remember who's the guy with the arm wound. I can't remember his name. I misplaced my notes.
Well, so she looks through the notes and says, Martha Davis?
That's her.
I know you subtly switched the pronoun. She kind of looks at you suspiciously.
Now I will dominate and say, what room is she in?
Give me another manipulation plus leadership.
That's going to be 7.
Okay.
Oh, that's a lot of ones there. That's not good.
I did not expect it to have an image there. I apologize. But negative pressure wound therapy is what it's called.
All right.
Negative pressure wound therapy, that's what I was going to do.
Okay. She looks at you and says, all right, yeah. And she'll look through, and she gives you the room number.
I have a feeling this didn't work well. So I will say, Terry, keep an eye out, because I have a feeling that didn't work well. And I will head toward the room.
All right. So, Terry, are you going to keep a lookout? And if so, like where?
What is it on the same floor, or is it on a different floor altogether?
It's upstairs, so it's a ways away from the front desk.
He'll send a test text to the other phone.
Yeah, it works.
If I see things suspicious, I'll send you a text message and call.
Okay.
All right, so I will wander off and find my way up to Martha Davis's room,
All right.
if that's where I'm going.
So,
Who knows?
so you managed to get into the hospital itself.
Well, now I just need an infected room.
Yeah. So you start, looking around, basically for
An infected
the
room.
infected wound. We'll switch back to Terry for a second. Give me a perception plus investigation.
That is going to be 5.
All right.
Perception, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So you absolutely notice the woman, as soon as Steven's gone, she kind of sees you and she tries to hide it, but she goes over to the phone and she starts basically calling in someone.
Aspects.
Yeah, she's calling security.
Ma'am,
Yes?
stop. And I am using dominate.
Okay. Manipulation plus intimidation.
That's going to be 6.
All right. All right. So she kind of just looks into your eyes, and you can hear kind of on the other end, it's the security guy going like, what's the description?
Tell him everything's okay.
What's the guy? All right. She kind of looks at you, and she seems kind of indecisive. And
It's okay. Go ahead.
She's looking around, and she doesn't exactly keep calling him, but she's just like, she picks up, she's like, okay, and then just slams the phone down, and she seems to be trying to get away from you.
Sleep.
All right, one more manipulation plus intimidation.
6 again.
All right. There we go. All right. So yeah, she basically just kind of you're not sure if it's you dominating her or her own natural inclination, but she does just basically faint as you roar another command at her.
And text, desk nurse got scared, called security. Please be quick.
All right. All right. So as you're looking around, you do hear like something like come over the PA. It's like looking for a suspicious individual. No description at this time.
Put on a white coat.
I was going to say, I am looking for a white coat.
Okay. Give me perception plus alertness.
That's 4.
Okay. Yeah, you find one.
Okay.
Just throw it on.
I'm ready to do science. All right.
You've got the cane too, so you literally look like
Yeah.
Dr. House at this
Yeah,
point.
exactly. I'm good. I'm good on this one.
But are you going to do the Dr. House American accent?
No.
All right.
No, I will not. I will be very British. All right.
Are you going to sing Minnie the Moocher?
I'm looking for pus right now.
I'm thinking you're just going to you're going to find the room, there's a bunch of people inside, you're just going to walk in like you own the place, just differential diagnosis, people. We're going to need a sample of the pus.
Pretty much. So, that's what I'm looking for.
What are you doing? Oh, yeah, that's great. If you want to kill her, I guess, give me the pus.
I need some pus, man. Come on. So,
It's not lupus.
all right. So, I'm looking for somebody with pus.
All right.
What's the role to look for pus?
Give me a perception plus medicine.
All right, that is 4.
All right, yeah.
I find pus.
So as you are looking around, you know that the room she gave you, you had there, and it is bullshit.
Yeah, that's not where the pussy wounds are.
But you do start looking around for some place, based on your medical knowledge, where would pussy wounds be? So
We should keep them all together.
Yeah, they're like pus buddies.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do eventually find like kind of the traumatic wounds, like the people that would have infected wounds area. And as you're looking around, you do see a security guy, and he sees you and he starts coming over towards you.
I will nod and continue to walk on. I have business.
He says, "Wait a minute."
Yes.
Says, "Sorry, Doc, but we're looking for a suspicious individual that may be wandering around the place."
Do I appear to be a suspicious individual?
Well,
no. I have people to save, lives to save. Get out of my way.
all right, give me a manipulation plus intimidation.
I'm a cranky old man, all right?
All right. So he just kind of, shrugs his shoulders and lets you go by. If you were to use Auspex, you might overhear him like, "Dr. House wannabe."
Is that phone still available?
Which phone?
The one that the nurse was using?
Yeah, it is.
Is there a number listed for security on or by the phone?
Yes, there is like a button you can press to quick dial them.
Here, Terry, come over the PA system. Everything's fine. Everything's fine here. How are you?
No,
hand solo it.
one of the maintenance men just saw a suspicious subject in the basement.
All right.
He described him as 6'4", 150 pounds, very lean.
All right. Give me a manipulation plus security to see how believable this is.
That's going to be 5 again.
Okay.
And I'll actually spend a willpower for this.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds pretty professional. Fortunately, your time in private security serves you pretty well. And, yeah. Mary left to use the restroom, so I guess we'll wait on that.
I was planning on doing that either way after about 10 minutes of Stephen being gone.
It's not a bad plan. This is going better. It's going in some ways better and in some ways worse. The security got called, but,
Like I said, one-word commands can be very, very powerful. Although you can't command a woman to menstruate, you can command them to answer.
Yeah.
It can be disguised in a sentence, too, such as, "Come on, just answer the survey."
So this is the plan once you break into the high school.
You don't have to break into high school.
That's true.
You can pay money for a ticket at the door, and then you can just wait outside as people are coming out. Would you like to take a survey and get $5?
You are going to be, even with the clipboard, you are going to be the skeevy 30-year-old man that's hanging out in the parking lot of a high school.
Fortunately, he's gay.
That's true. So it's actually not. Well, there's still. Well, it's a woman's basketball game, so.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to be perceived, but, he's not actually skeevy.
It's true.
So he's got that inner confidence that he's not skeevy.
All right.
By the way, the Minnie the Moocher thing is from one of Hugh Laurie's earlier projects. And I forget what it was called, but I stumbled across it the other day. Where he's trying to figure out what Hoocher Coocher is. Y'all don't know Minnie the Moocher, do you?
No.
I don't think so. It sounds vaguely familiar. It seems like it might have been a bit on like a bit of Fry and Laurie, but.
No, it's a Cab Calloway song from a much earlier time.
Alright.
Sorry.
It's alright. Alright.
So
yeah, you hear on the PA, you hear Terry on the PA redirecting security traffic into the basement.
Alright. Very good.
Alright. So yeah.
I've found some pus.
You found some pus.
So I'm now going to go reverse negative pressure this thing.
Alright. Give me a dexterity plus medicine.
That is 3.
So you walk up to someone who's unconscious and start scraping the pus in. So you do get the pus, but the person who's unconscious kind of starts to wake up as you're doing this and it's like, who are you?
I'll look into their eyes and say, go back to sleep.
Alright. Manipulation plus leadership is 7. Alright.
We will do it better.
So yeah, they kind of nod off. You can combine it with like, you press down the IV with like all the opiates in it and go back to sleep.
Just go back. You're fine.
Let me turn that morphine up just a little bit.
There you go.
Just a smidge. Alright. And off I go with my bag of pus.
Alright, so you secret that away.
Uh-huh. That's fun.
Now I'm just imagining Stephen sliding back in the main hall to see Terry's with holding up the bag of pus like, got it! Alright.
No, I walk out very, as a professor.
Yeah, so you guys, you get back to the front desk, meet up with Terry, and you guys head right out.
Good. Let's go work on a liver now, Terry.
Alright. Oh, you've still got the coat on, so you have that.
I do. Wonder if they have a morgue here.
You're really Agent 47 to this one.
Is, possibly this is a one-stop. Do they have a morgue? How fresh does this liver have to be?
It doesn't, he didn't necessarily say. So, yeah, he did say human would be best if you want to head down into the morgue.
Well, yeah, let's head down into the morgue, see if we can abscond with the liver.
You could just cut out this guy's liver.
That what guy's liver?
Yeah, pus guy's liver.
I'm a high humanity character. I can't kill somebody.
Fine, then we'll use the high school girl.
No. So you did redirect everybody to the basement, which is the morgue, right?
Yeah, the morgue is in the basement.
But they're not looking for us.
No, they're not looking for you.
All right, so let's check out the morgue and see if we can avoid the security people.
The morgue is in the basement?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Everything okay is a text that Steven receives.
Alright.
All right. Well, I'm going to head down there. Maybe Terry will hang out here and maybe he'll report somebody saw him on the top floor now. I don't know. Anyway.
He's on the roof now.
Anyway, so I'll head down to the morgue, see if I can obtain a liver.
Alright.
Does it have to be a whole liver? Livers are kind of large. I don't know where I'm going to stick a liver.
Whole liver.
Alrighty. Well, I got a coat. I guess I'm
Okay.
walking out with a liver. A fairly fresh liver from the morgue.
So, yeah, the morgue attendant is down there and says, what can I help you with?
You know what I need to get? This is out of character.
Okay.
This is metagame. Metagaming
I thought
right
you were
now.
just going to try and be like, you know
No.
what I need to get? A
liver.
liver.
I need to get me a liver.
Buzz
I may
me
just
in.
dominate this. I may just dominate this guy and get myself a liver. There can't be many people here in the middle of the night in the morgue. Anyway.
Except for security.
What I need to get are some official looking like little cards that I can just flash at people and be like,
Yeah.
you know, Dr. Stephen Higgins, let me in.
Yeah.
Thing. So, putting that on the list. Fake IDs. Okay. Stephen has his little epiphany as he's wandering in. So the attendant says, what to me?
He says, what can I help you with?
I'll look deeply into the man's eyes.
He will not meet your gaze.
Who aspects this guy?
Right. Looking at his aura?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Give me perception plus empathy then.
That is 4.
Alright. He seems to have just sort of a business-like emotions right now, but his aura is a little bit pale, not quite vampire pale, but he could be some sort of ghoul.
All right.
Would you describe it as blotchy?
I mean, it's possible.
Huh. All right. Well.
It's possible he also just doesn't get a lot of sun.
Does your aura turn pale? Not a lot of sun?
No,
No.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. So I am Dr. Stephen Higgins. I need to get into the morgue.
All right. Says, I don't recognize you. Not one of the regular doctors here.
No, I'm here on a special assignment.
Nods. And says, typically, you can make it worth my while to get in here.
Let's see. Get out some bills. And give them to him the money he wants.
All right.
Terry will come on the PA again.
Terry's having a way on that PA. All right.
How tall is this hospital?
It goes up 5 floors.
Suspicious individual seen on 3rd floor.
Okay.
Stephen tries desperately not to laugh.
Okay. So, the guy also, he kind of just stares at, like, your chest. He's just like, it's not the regular PA guy.
Yes, I can't speak to that. I have no idea.
He nods. Kind of, how much money did you put on the counter?
How many do I have?
Around $50 in cash.
Only carry larger bills with me?
I mean, not for, unless you specifically order. I usually assume about $50.
All right, well, I'll give him $50. It's not going to be enough, damn it.
So he takes it, smooths it out, puts it in his pocket. He says, you owe a minor boon to my mistress.
Your mistress is...
And he presses the buzzer.
Ooh.
She doesn't like names.
Alright, so I owe a minor boon. To a mysterious woman in Atlantic City.
Yep. Who apparently has domain over the morgue.
2 more queens. Alright, very nice. Okay, well, I will go in.
Alright.
Find the precious corpse I can.
Yeah.
Or the precious liver I can, if it's been an autopsy, I don't know.
Yeah, give me another dexterity plus medicine.
That would be 3.
This is a little bit of difficult surgery. I'm just going to let you know that, whether or not you decide you want to spend a willpower point.
Alright, I can spend a willpower point.
I mean, there are plenty of bodies here. You could just keep trying. But
I kind of need to get out of here because Terry's going to come on that
and
PA
whoever
again.
you owe a boon to might
Yeah.
be upset about
Yeah.
the 30 bodies with livers.
Well, I was kind of hoping that, like, an autopsy had been done. There's just a liver in a
No.
container. I don't know, whatever.
So you scalpel one open, pull out the liver. It's gross, but...
Put it in the bag. Stick it on the coat.
Alright, you're good.
I will walk out. We'll salute.
Alright.
And head on up to the waiting room.
Alright, so
All right.
you're back at the waiting room. Terry, you see Stephen come back in.
All right, we are good to go. I say we get out of here.
I agree. And he'll walk out.
Alright.
Alrighty. Car. Head back to the chantry. Drop off the pus and the liver.
Alright. So yeah, you guys are, as you're driving back to the chantry, you've just kind of parked outside when all of a sudden there's a voice in your ear that just says, Tremere, huh? And obviously speaking, brakes obfuscate, and you can see that there is a short woman in the back seat of your car.
Uh-huh.
If there's someone just, because I missed part of that because of the traffic, if there's someone just pooping into the car, he's going to draw his weapon and point it at their face.
Alright.
Terry will have a calming, just be like, Terry, let's relax for a moment. So, and you would be, Miss?
I don't like names.
Ah.
Is this person hideous?
No. She's dressed kind of shabby, although it seems like she could be attractive if she, didn't dress sort of homelessy, and she's not wearing any makeup or anything like that.
Is there an overwhelming funk?
There's a little bit of a funk, yeah. It smells kind of like decay.
He'll put the pistol back up.
I met one of your retainers.
Yes, I know. I've heard about the boon you owe me.
Word travels fast.
It does indeed.
I see. So I take it you have come to collect this boon?
No, I just want your phone number.
Give her my... I'll have to look it up on my new phone.
Yeah.
Because I don't know it yet. But I shall let her have it.
Terry will give the Nosferatu the telephone number.
Alright. So, this, shortish woman kind of leans over, sniffs at both of you, and she says, smells like you got some bad stuff going on. I'd watch out. Then jumps out of the car.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Let's get into the car and leave, Terry.
Well, she waited until you were parked outside of the chantry before revealing herself.
Oh, she's been there the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's okay because the chantry is well known because Premier's, if people can know where the Premier chantry is. I'm hoping. So anyway, we will get out of the car. And enter the Wizard's Wand.
Yep.
And go to how close are we to sunrise?
About this time, it probably is sunrise. If you've gone to the stores and gotten, the garlic and everything, but yeah.
Okay. So we've got most everything. I'm going to leave it to Terry to get the menstrual blood of the Virgin.
All right.
And I'm going to crawl into bed.
All right.
And he'll take a couple hours nap.
Yeah. I was about to say, I'm going to start calling for stamina rolls pretty soon. All right. Yeah, so a couple hours, you can set your alarm for when the basketball game should be starting.
And make sure there's enough drive time to get there just a little beforehand.
Yeah.
Before the game ends, because he wants to do this after the game ends.
Absolutely.
He will also swing by a bank
Yeah, the sirens.
And
They know there's a 30-year-old guy standing in front of the high school.
They're coming for you, Terry.
and he'll get about $200 in $5 bills.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for the sirens to
Yeah,
pass.
sounds gotta pass. Alrighty.
All right, there we go.
So, okay. Loud numbers. Okay. So, we've got some $5 bills.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I need to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You can't pee. You can't have to pee while you're trying to take a menstrual blood.
That's absolutely true.
So,
Well, it might be nice to go into a bathroom while you collect it. A little bit of privacy.
you know. So I'm curious to see how he's
No, I
gonna
think this
manage
is going to be very interesting.
I think this is going to be fun. To see how he's going to manage it. Stephen is just leaving it in his hands. I am peacefully sleeping at the chantry, having gotten a liver and some pus, which is probably the most hands-on I've been with a human in quite some time.
Yep.
And I will forever remember that Terry was very excited about obtaining menstrual blood.
He was on it.
He had that figured out.
Well, see, when you have a plan to get menstrual blood, you think it's so specific it'll never come up. So when it does come up,
he's just very
you're real excited to use it.
So, yeah. All right. And the plan to figure out whether or not they're a virgin.
All right, I'm back.
All right. Well, let's do this. You arrive at the high school.
Okay.
Honest question I've heard since I turned 18.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since I'm almost 36.
Yeah.
No, I'm literally 35, so you arrive at the high school is not something I've had to say in decades.
Yep.
But
so
you arrive there to get menstrual blood. That's what's important.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
All right. So it's going to begin exactly how I intended.
And hopefully
he's
it'll
going
finish that way as well.
And basically he just begins asking about a survey.
Okay.
Would you like to take a survey and earn $5?
All right. So, first off, give me a charisma plus empathy to see how non-threatening you are.
1!
Oh, this is going to be good.
All right.
The scary guy asking about virginity. This is good.
Well, that's what the survey's for.
All right. I'm just going to ask if you want to spend a willpower point on this one.
Yes, I will.
All right. Okay. You get a few. The majority of people seem to be avoiding you for some reason. You do get a few, however, who are willing to take your survey.
All right. And he'll ask the questions. I just need your first initial and last initial. We want to be able to identify you, but not give out your name.
Okay. Yep.
And he'll ask him, so do you identify as male or female?
All right. Yep. Pretty much everyone there identifies as. You're not approaching men. Anyone obviously.
Of course.
Men. So yeah, they all self-identify as female.
And what the article is about, it's about high school girls who are wanting to remain virgins all the way through high school. And how do you feel about that?
All right.
And are you a virgin currently? As this is something that wants to be recorded in the article. We're not judging. We're just looking for a solid answer. That way we can get a good run on this article.
I'm laughing at this big hurting guy trying to explain this to high school girls. Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, I personally can't talk about it because I've never gone through it. So that's why they sent me out. Is because I'm a very sensitive person, and
These
and they
sirens.
want to see how people react.
Yeah.
It's the Popo count.
These are the
Collect
most
cherry.
perfectly timed sirens. I love them.
Sorry, there's a pedophile on the
just
grounds of
if
the
this
high
were a
school.
TV show, the sirens would come and we would just slowly fade to black and fade back in with you in jail.
The mugshot.
All right. So I will roll to see if you manage to find any virgins. Wow, actually,
You find a lot of virgins.
you do find one. And she is, willing to basically take the survey. Yeah. So she fills it out.
And he'll follow up with, now, if you want to, and it's only if you want to, you can earn $1,000 by doing a follow-up interview in the next couple of days.
All right.
And it's just to kind of expand out your thoughts about virginity and high school. And if you'd like, I can give you that telephone number now.
Well, she says, sure.
Why don't you come by the Wizard's Wand?
Come by my strip club.
And he'll actually pay her $20 because no one else is taking the survey.
All right. So you give her your phone number?
Yes.
All right.
Now, I'm the coordinator. I'm not the person that's going to be doing the interview. Her name is, is Sarah McLaughlin.
Mm-hmm.
It has a weird spelling to it. I cannot spell her name. She just lets me call her Sarah.
Right.
She's the one writing the article.
All right. She's nodding along.
And just give us a call. You can do it anytime today, and if you really want to get it done early this evening, we would absolutely appreciate that.
She says, "Well, when is the $1,000?"
That'd be paid at the interview.
I mean, we could do it this evening.
All right, wonderful. What was the hotel? I don't know any of the hotels in Atlantic City.
So you guys have been staying at the strip club.
Yeah, we're staying at the Wizard's Wand.
So you're gonna have to set up a hotel. You do have the Prince's Hotel, which you could probably arrange a room in, since it's run by vampires.
Yeah, we'll set it up at the Princess Hotel.
Okay.
Now, the question is this girl currently menstruating?
That's the issue that you're going to have to come.
So what are we going to do there?
We'll worry about that here in a moment.
I mean, not only do we got to find a virgin, we have to find a menstruating virgin.
He's gotten farther than I thought, so we'll see.
Okay, all right.
I will roll.
We have the virgin. The virgin is what we need.
Okay.
The rest of it, we can work off of luck because no girl is going to answer that question. At least no woman that I've ever met will answer that question.
What, are you currently menstruating?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if I were to ask you that, you would think I was a big fat weirdo.
Yeah,
not this
well,
guy in this
yeah.
specific
Yeah.
situation.
I mean, it's weird enough you're asking her about virginity.
Yeah.
To bring in menstruation right now, she would run screaming. Yes.
Yeah.
There is no sane person that would go to this meeting.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're just going to have to hope that she's menstruating.
Yeah.
And if you'd like, during the interview, we will actually pay for your parents, if they feel uncomfortable with this, to have dinner in the hotel's cafeteria or restaurant.
Yeah. Well, she says, all right, that sounds great.
I know your parents may feel a little suspicious about this, and I would too. I know I'm not the most sane-looking person, and I can come off as a little creepy, and I did not. This assignment's a very odd one.
Okay, stop talking, Sarah. Stop talking.
She's like,
you're only making
all right.
it worse.
Well, she takes the address of the hotel, and she'll set up, like, a time for it.
All right. And by the way, this is what actually gets me in trouble in real life: is I have a big fat mouth.
Yeah, no, there's a point where you need to stop talking.
I thought you were going to say, because I hang out at high schools
Yeah.
asking if there are any menstruating virgins.
That will get you.
The cops do not understand, as it turns out.
Weirdly. All right. Okay.
And he'll look like he's done, and he will say, well, you have a great day, and he will get into the car and drive away.
All right. So you've got a couple of hours before the meeting itself takes place in the evening.
He's going to set up a reservation for the parents.
All right.
Because I imagine she gave him the name, right?
Yeah.
Her actual name?
Yeah.
Under her parents' last name for the same time as the meeting.
Okay.
And he will get a not a room, because that is just that's too much. But
You have, like,
a business
conference-
hall would take up too much space as well. So
They have like little. They have those little meeting rooms. You can like rent a little meeting room.
like a conference room. There we go. That's the word I was thinking of.
Yeah.
And
sit
he'll
on
see
the
if he
bed
can
with
get
me.
the conference room for half an hour.
All right, yeah. So it's easy enough to arrange. The guys at the front desk, they remember you from when you came in before with the guys. So the concierge arranges everything for you.
And he will get ready to let his boss know what he's done.
All right. Yeah, by the time you're finished setting everything up, you wake up.
I wake up, and Terry is back.
Mm-hmm.
And Terry's taking a shower when you wake up.
Okay. Then I will wait for Terry to get done with the shower.
I mean, it's nothing you've seen before. Just get naked, hop in, Terry, report.
Yeah.
He'll explain everything that he's done. It was too odd of a question to ask if she was menstruating at the moment, but she is definitely a virgin.
Okay. So.
And the other Tremere can test that if he wants to, but I don't know how to test that.
All right.
And also, testing it would have also looked a little weird in the parking lot.
A little weird.
Especially since I don't have taste of IK.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Well.
It's the best we could do on such short notice.
It is.
I hooked a live one.
So, all right. So. Not sure.
I forgot to mention this. He will get the actual $1,000 cash that's needed.
Okay.
Yeah. I wonder, does he? Well, I don't know. Should I ask if the regent wants to verify virginity, or is he going to have a test for that?
Well, if once you have the blood, he'll be able to tell.
He'll be able to tell. Okay.
But he need the menstruation blood.
Yes, we do. We need menstrual blood. So, not sure. Take some domination is what this.
So
is
after a little while, you do get another phone call from the woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she says that her younger sister is also basically interested in taking the survey. She wasn't at the basketball game, but she would also be interested if you need more people. Basically, she's checking to see if that's okay to bring someone in at this point.
Oh, that would be wonderful. We would love a second opinion on this.
Now we've got two possibilities.
Now, real quick, so I can put it down onto the form here. Is she a virgin at this time?
She says, yeah.
All right, wonderful. Is she in high school or is she in middle school?
She just got into high school.
You broke up on me.
She just got into high school.
Okay, wonderful. Just bring her by, and while y'all parents are eating, we can do both interviews at the same time. It'll give a nice duality here to the article. Hold on one second. Sarah, and he does that fake where he's trying to cover it up, but he's not really covering it up.
Mm-hmm.
Our Danielle said she could bring her little sister. Her little sister is both a virgin and just getting into high school. Is that okay with you? All right, wonderful. Yes, Sarah completely approves of this.
Yeah. No, Steven's doing this. Can't believe
All right.
So just
Never
So
seen
just
this
bring her
side.
by. I know we had everything scheduled for an hour. The reservation for your parents have already been made. So they'll be able to get a nice gourmet meal. I've been assured that this is one of the best hotel restaurants. It has 2.5 Michelin stars. Your parents will absolutely love their meal.
He's like, okay. And she gets $1,000 too, right?
We can work that out when she gets here. We were only expecting one person, so unfortunately I don't have that much on me. We'll get that taken care of though.
Okay. Well, we'll see you then.
All right, wonderful. We look forward to seeing to you. And it's going to be in conference room B. When you get here, just ask the concierge and they'll help you out, okay?
All right.
After he hangs up, Stephen, in amazement, says, Terry, I have never seen this side of you.
Where's the soap at?
All right. Mission accomplished. We got 2.
Okay. Well,
I hope my wife never sees this.
Yeah, speaking of which, about $1,000 that you're giving out, I've got a P.O. box for you to send it to. We've got the tape.
yeah. All right then.
So how are you guys setting up in the conference room?
Well, they're going to notice I'm not Sarah.
You can say that Sarah had to get called out on late night business because a family member got ill. I'm not sure if they'll buy it from me.
All right, so I'll just be...
You do look a lot better than I do in a suit.
I will say that you do have the resources of the chantry at your disposal. I'll just put that
is there
out.
a female premier here?
There are females in the chantry upstairs.
All right, well, I see. So
there are no female novices.
I see. Well, I will go upstairs and pick a suitable-looking stripper and explain that I need her for the evening.
All right.
And tell her to get dressed into something professional.
You do have the white coat.
I do, but she doesn't need, like, kitty cups or whatever. She needs to be looking in some sort of suit.
All right. Yeah, she dresses up. It's not professional per se because she doesn't have any clothes like that, but she does have clothes.
All right, well, we'll put the white coat over. And give her the clipboard. And brief her a little bit on the role she needs to play.
All right.
So how do you want her to handle this, Terry?
I don't know how to ask these questions to women.
So
you should have seen me while I was at the high school. I looked like... who's that hot guy in that movie? All right guy.
I don't remember the guy.
I looked like him. It was creepy. I don't know how to do this stuff.
All right.
So, all right. So, well, the girl knows you, so you're going to need to welcome her when she comes in. And then introduce this stripper here as Sarah. And then, Sarah.
I mean, we could just put them to sleep and go from there.
Yes, but we want them to actually get in so we can close the door.
So then out of the closet.
And then, yes, and then
The
out of the
old man.
closet, the old man appears and says, sleep, and then we attempt to obtain. And then we've got to figure out whether they menstruate. We probably better put the stripper to sleep as well, because she is not probably going to be into...
She is actually a part of, like, the Tremere herd. So she doesn't necessarily know about vampires, but she's, like, regularly dominated not to ask questions about someone that's been
Okay.
identified as a
I just
Tremere.
didn't want her putting out...
And they routinely, like, mind wipe them.
Okay, so she's okay. Alright, so I'm not going to worry about her. I just didn't want her putting up a fuss as we
she's got
these girls attempting to figure out if they're menstruating.
She's got so many levels of dominate, like...
And this is actually fine because both Terry and Stephen are gay, so there's nothing sexual about this.
That's something to make clear to the audience.
I too want to make that very clear. There is nothing sexual about this.
Anything done in character is strictly done in character. What happens in a game is not an endorsement of said activity.
Exactly. So
it's what I'm opening up my stream now with. That way I don't lose the affiliate.
That's true. We are not endorsing any sorts of behavior. Anyway.
I mean, you wouldn't crash your car into a police car and then cause a police chase. You know, it's just obvious, you know.
Yeah.
All right.
You wouldn't do this.
You wouldn't
ever.
To get the menstrual blood of a virgin. Oh my God. Okay. So anyway, so Sarah will be there to greet them, and then as quickly as you can get them into the room and shut the door, and then I will put them both to sleep. Then we will undress them and attempt to see if they're menstruating.
All right. Good plan. So everything goes off.
God above. Okay.
I had no idea how you were going to handle this. I just wanted a reagent that made sense for the ritual and would be really hard to get, and just see how you guys went with it.
Okay.
And you went with it.
I am so glad Coolump is here, because I would have come up with nothing. Okay? I can't believe this plan that has come about. Because this wouldn't have happened without him, honestly. I'm not sure that it's a good thing this is happening, but it wouldn't have happened without him.
All right.
Well, the parents are downstairs.
So it's fine. Is that what you're saying? If their parents are downstairs, it's fine.
Well, it means it's less likely to look like something that we did wrong, and more like the parents sold their children into slavery.
Yeah.
But I want to reiterate again, both Terry and Stephen are gay, and there's nothing sexual about this.
I am interested to see if this video on YouTube gets the full monetization, or if this one is there's some content that may not be suitable for all advertisers.
Alrighty then.
All right.
Alright, so I am standing behind the door so that they do not see me when they first come in.
Yeah, so, these two high school age girls, one of them is like 18-ish at least, although the other one is, she just got into high school. So you've got your stripper in the white lab coat, and she says, come in, my name is Sarah. And the two girls are kind of looking bamboozled as I assume Terry's there to kind of like get the door shut as quickly as possible.
Yes.
And you can emerge from the shadows.
And then I will emerge and just sort of stare into their eyes. Sleep.
Alright, manipulation plus leadership.
That is 7.
Alright. And the other one. Alright. So the older girl goes like right out.
Mm-hmm.
The younger one she's the one you get to kind of second, and she's like, she sees what happens, she's kind of trying to like avert her gaze, and she kind of starts freaking out, like, who are you? And she kind of starts backing up, kind of runs into Terry, blocking the door.
Mm-hmm. And then
hand over mouth.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and looking in her eyes. Do it again.
All
Sweet.
right. Yeah. The man with like 3 strength and potence is easily able to subdue the 14-year-old girl.
All right.
And eventually you get dominate to work.
Okay. All right. All right. So, I will now give a nervous look at Terry.
He'll look at the stripper. You can go now.
All right. It's like, sure thing. You want your coat?
Yes, please.
All right. So she hands over the white lab coat and she heads off.
Can't you do? And he'll wait for the stripper to leave. Can't you do the tasty thing that I've seen some of the other Tremere do?
Yeah, you would probably by this point you would know that Stephen does not have the path of blood.
I do not have path of blood, and I don't know that would tell me whether they're menstruating.
He'd be able to tell you if they were virgins.
Yeah.
True. But no, I cannot. All right. Well.
But the regent said that he would be able to tell, so presumably he has the.
Well, he's going to have to taste their menstrual blood. That'll be fun. Not even there.
He'll call the regent. I mean, we have a good hour while the parents are eating.
Okay. We don't even know if they're menstruating.
Are you going to examine them?
Can we? I will examine them first to see if either of them are even menstruating. We may not even need to do this.
We may not even need to do this.
That's not good. How can I not tell that they're
No,
menstruating?
this was actually, I reversed it this time. You had a 1 in 10 chance. That's about what I would give you because we're using 10-sided dice. And I decided it would be the bad one. So actually, the fact that you rolled a 1.
All right.
Yes, actually.
One of them is...
The younger one is menstruating.
Oh my God. Terry, we're in luck. Yes, I will call the regent and see if he wants to come down and taste and see if he's actually virgin.
All right.
Since I cannot.
Yeah.
And then we shall collect.
So, yeah, the regent comes down and he comes into the conference room and he's like, whoa, you guys have taken to Atlantic City quick. Usually people are here like a couple of months before we get here.
Please, just see if she is a virgin.
All right.
Let's get this over with as quickly as possible.
So he reaches down, sticks a finger in, takes a lick. Yeah.
All right. So I shall now attempt to collect.
All right.
How much does he need?
As much as you get. We can store it, put it in the freezer.
Okay. So I will collect.
He's like, sometimes we entertain Ventru guests, and they have the weirdest tastes.
Well, anyway, I am not going to go there. Stephen is completely weirded out by this.
All right. So.
This is out of his purview.
All right. Yep. Nope. Takes the blood. It's like, all right, that's the last one. We'll get on with the ritual.
All right. Well, so how do we want to end this? Do we just want to leave the girls here to wake up?
I don't know how you got them in here, but I think you should probably alter their memory because whatever it is, it's not something you're going to want them to know about.
Well, that's what I figured. Do you wish to help me?
This is kind of your job.
Well, there's 2 of them, say.
You can handle it.
All right.
Light them up one at a time.
So I will attempt to tell them that they had their interview. It went well. There is $1,000.
The man is described as 6 foot 6'4".
He's tall and lean.
All right.
Anyway, so
give me wits plus subterfuge.
So the same description that was given for the other.
You're building an identity for some mysterious rapist.
Yeah. That'll be 4. I'm going to use a willpower point.
All right. On both of them?
Yes, because I need this to work.
Okay. Hey, there you go. So yeah,
Okay.
they both take their money.
I need some willpower desperately. Okay.
He gives them 500 each.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to the ATM and trying to justify another $1,000 out of his bank account for the month.
All right. So yeah, they both are like, well, they're talking with like basically Terry by the end of it. They don't seem to really notice that the woman isn't there. You did a good job re-altering their memories. So they don't really notice anything is wrong. They're like, if you ever need anything like this again, call me.
If we have any other interviews, we will absolutely do that. We would love your fresh perspective in the article.
All right. And they take off.
Alright. So, back to the chantry.
I need another shower.
Perform a ritual.
You do have a ritual. The regent, he probably got the phone number from you for your new phones and texts you to say to meet him actually on the beach, not far from where you first appeared.
Alrighty. So, I will head
On the way there, we are going to pick up a new car battery.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if I say when you get there, there are parking tickets on your thing, basically telling you to move the car.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Got the orange sticker it's
Yeah.
ready for tow.
Pretty much.
All right.
So he says we have to do it tonight because this is the last night of the full moon.
Okay.
We were going to have your ghoul be involved as well, but fortunately another Tremere has just arrived. And he'll point over towards a woman who you recognize as your sire.
Oh, my sire is here. Nice. All right. Well, I shall go over and greet her.
All right. So she says, we'll talk after the ritual. And everyone here is giving your sire a great deal of deference.
Oh, of course they are.
They know that
While
she's,
they're doing the ritual, he's changing the battery on the car.
All right.
Very nice.
And I have no dots in mechanics, and I can do no dots in craft,
You've got
and I can do that shit.
I think you have repair.
Actually, I do. Yes.
So it'll be probably just like a dexterity plus repair.
Dex and repair is 4 dice.
All right. Yep. You're getting it set, tuning it up while the ritual goes on. Before the ritual itself begins, they're preparing like some tents and stuff in a space, and they're performing rituals to basically keep out the daylight. I don't remember exactly what the ritual is called, but it's like Defense of the Sacred Haven. So if you want to perform your own on your own tent,
Yes.
you can do so. That's intelligence plus occult.
7.
Okay. All right. So you'll find out one way or another. And then the ritual itself starts. And you're not really prone, you don't really are told what the ritual is about. You're just basically set to chanting, lending your energies to it.
Doing my thing. Doing my Tremere thing.
So another intelligence plus occult.
7.
Make sure you don't screw up. Yeah, so you guys perform the ritual. You're not sure exactly what it does, so you don't really know if it took effect or not, but it feels pretty good when you're finished with it. You think probably worked. Sounded good. Based on what you were listening to, it seemed to be some sort of ritual of purification of some kind.
Okay.
Although what you were purifying is...
Whatever.
All right.
I know they're not going to tell me, so...
Yep.
Whatever. I know the routine.
Yeah, it ends literally just as the sun is rising, so as soon as it's over, everyone has to run into their tents.
Okay.
And
hopefully mine...
Your Defense of the Sacred Haven does hold, yes.
Okay, very good. Very good. About another couple of points to... I'm going to pop a couple blood pills when I wake up as well.
Okay.
So, I don't want to get down too low.
So, Terry, you're able to finish basically repairing the car. You also have enough time to take a nap in the car if you want to before nightfall. And yeah, everyone wakes up.
Get something to eat. I'm sure he's starving by now.
Yeah, that's true. So everyone wakes up.
Okay.
Take off a blood point.
Well, that's what I said.
Yeah. All right.
I'm still trying to heal my aggravated damage as well.
All right. So, your sire is already waiting for you when you get out of the tent.
Okay.
And she says, your obligations here are over.
Okay.
We'll head back to the city.
Gary. So,
Indeed.
I've never heard it called a city before.
So, they get back in the car. She has you
So
sit with her in the back seat.
I was going to say, the luxury sitting in is fixed and
Yep.
working. Okay. So yes, we shall sit in the back seat, and I will ask her. I will tell her about the tall, skinny guy that burned me, and like, what's going on? What does she know?
All right. So she'll look at the burns, and then she'll have you basically tell her what happened. And once that's over, she'll say, look directly into my eyes.
Damn it! Look into her eyes.
All right. So you don't really remember the next hour. But suffice to say, when it's over, she seems to be considering something. Up until that point, she'd been pretty hostile. But now she's basically nodding. She's like, all right, I think I'm beginning to understand what's going on. You are fortunate indeed that what I believe to be the case has not come about.
So what do I remember after my hour of being wiped?
I mean, you just basically, you're still in the car. You just don't remember the question she asked you. It's just that hour is gone.
Oh, but I still remember
You
the
remember
big
all
guy,
that before,
the,
yeah.
the big guy in the burns. I know
Yeah.
what that's going on, but she didn't remember the...
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems like she basically interrogated you a second time, making sure you were telling the truth.
Okay. I thought she was going to wipe my memory and tell me nothing ever happened.
No.
So anyway, so she thinks she understood. So what is going on? What is that thing? What is the thing in the forest?
I don't know.
Because it seemed pretty powerful. It's got these whole time-space dilation things going on, and the burns. What's with the burns?
Yes, this sort of teleportation is extremely dangerous. At first, I believed you were experimenting with dark thaumaturgy, but that does not seem to be the case.
I would never experiment with dark thaumaturgy.
Make sure you keep that in mind. Because, of course, that would lead to your immediate destruction.
I am aware.
All right. It seems as though you have run afoul of some kind of hostile entity. We will discover more once we reach the haven.
Was there no folklore or anything? I've never even heard of a monster of this sort.
We will discover more once we reach the laboratory and can conduct an examination.
Oh, very well.
So, during the night, you also hear like a news report comes over the radio as you're driving back to Illinois or Indiana. Apparently, this is when you're kind of getting close. Apparently, there was a major fire in Gary. Something. The police are. This comes on the news. Police are still investigating.
But it was all that gas from that tanker.
Actually, you're skipping ahead a little bit. They're like, a large amount of gasoline did ignite somewhere in the city, and because so many buildings are abandoned, there's just like the fire just swept through them like crazy. So a lot of the city is been burnt down.
Here's Steven's reaction. He pinches his nose.
Because a large amount of the gasoline was believed to be the initial accelerant. Police are currently acting under the suspicion that it may be related to the tanker murderers, which struck in the city a few days previous. Whether it was deliberate arson by the terrorists or perhaps an accident by would-be thieves is at this time unknown. But police are looking for two men One of them, it gives like the height and like build for Ryan.
6'4". No.
Like both their faces were hidden, but it gives like the height and build for like Ryan.
Wait, is one of the other players 6'4" out of chance? Slender build?
No, that's what I was waiting for. Our rapist.
And Carrie. Yeah, it unfortunately does not mention it. It would be great if you could somehow tie these in. But...
Yeah, if Carrie was actually 6'4", and but no, he's not. So anyway, well, they're gonna. Oh God, I hope they're smart enough to lay low.
So the the police are currently looking for them, and the mayor is set to debut a new city rejuvenation property. Basically, this is obviously there are too many abandoned properties, so the mayor is.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get behind that.
He claims he's going to be setting up, basically a system. He's looking for investors to, reinvest.
Oh bingo, I'm in on that.
And rejuvenate the economy.
I am in on that.
All right. So as you guys are, arriving in Gary, your sire orders you to assemble your coterie. And that is where we will leave off.
That's where we leave off. Okay. That's going to be interesting.
If I did not have things to, if Sunday was not my wife's day, I would want to play everyone's schools.
That was damn good.
That was awesome.
Anytime.
And the play was so convoluted too.
Anytime you want to stop by and play Terry again, you are more than welcome to do so. That was a hell of a time.
No, you totally saved me, because I would have never come up with a plan for virgin menstrual blood. That's just.
I can't believe I did kind of. I thought about it, I'm like, I really want this plan to work. And I knew it was going to come down to like a 1 in 10 dice roll, so I'm like, $1,000. You would ask your, sister to basically try and get $1,000 too. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it came down to 2 1 in 10 dice rolls.
Wow.
And you pulled it out.
Wow. All right. Wow.
That was damn close.
Yeah, I was figuring we were going to be like, neither one of us masquerading. So, get to try again. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, and you actually didn't have that much time left. You got him like an hour before the ritual started.
Good golly.
All right, well, I'm going to get out of here. My doggies need to be walked and what so far.
Absolutely.
Absolutely enjoyed being on your stream again.
Give yourself a plug for the YouTube.
For people watching, I stream Vampire the Masquerade at 8:30 Central Time. Or sorry, it changed to 9 p.m. Central Time over at my channel, twitch.tv/Coolant.
And links will be in the description.
And absolutely, like I said, I love you guys. Y'all do a lot. Keep me updated for when y'all go back to a regular time. So the advertisement I do at the end of my stream will be up to date, okay?
All right. Sure thing.
All right. Y'all have a great day.
Yep. See you later. Yeah, I'm going to end the stream and the recording. So, see you guys later.
I'm so glad he was here. Never come up with anything.